Let's be real. True Detective isn't just another crime show. It's something darker, something heavier. A world where time feels broken, where memories can't be trusted, and where the people chasing justice are often just as damaged as the criminals they hunt. Since 2014, this series has delivered some of the most haunting stories ever put on television. Different cases, different detectives, different places, but they all share one thing: a slow descent into darkness, and the question of whether anyone truly escapes it. So now, we're diving into the entire story so far. Every season, every mystery, every truth buried beneath the surface. Season 1. The Case That Never Ended. It begins in 1995. In the heat and decay of Louisiana, two detectives arrive at a disturbing crime scene. A young woman's body is posed like a ritual. Antlers crown her head, a spiral is marked into her skin, and around her, strange symbols made from sticks. This is not just murder. This is something ancient, something intentional. Detectives Rust Cole and Martin Hart couldn't be more different. Rust is quiet, intense, and haunted by loss. He sees the world as meaningless, broken, beyond saving. Marty is the opposite. A family man on the surface, but beneath that, lies, infidelity, and denial. Together, they begin investigating what seems like a ritual killing. But quickly, the case grows. Missing children, strange symbols, references to something called the Yellow King, and whispers of a place called Carcosa. Years pass. The case appears solved after they kill a suspect running a meth operation. They're praised as heroes, but something doesn't sit right, because the symbols never stop appearing. In 2012, the truth resurfaces. New detectives reopen the case, and it becomes clear: Rust and Marty never caught the real killer. What follows is a slow unraveling of a much larger conspiracy. Powerful families, religious institutions, generations of abuse hidden in plain sight. At the center of it all is a man hiding in the shadows. Errol Childress, a scarred, broken figure shaped by years of unimaginable abuse. The final confrontation leads them deep into a nightmare, a place that feels less like reality and more like something out of a dream. Bones, symbols, silence. Rust is nearly killed. Marty barely survives. But in the end, the killer falls. And yet, the system doesn't. The people behind it all walk free. Still, something changes. For the first time, Rust feels something he hasn't in years. Not darkness, but light. Season 2. A city built on corruption. This time, the story shifts to California. A city filled with industry, power, and rot beneath the surface. When a city official is found brutally murdered, 4 lives collide. Ray Velcoro, a detective barely holding himself together. Ani Bezarides, a hardened investigator with a traumatic past. Paul Woodrue, a soldier hiding secrets. And Frank Semyon, a criminal trying to become legitimate. Their stories intertwine around one central truth: everything is corrupt. The deeper they dig, the worse it gets. Land deals, political manipulation, environmental destruction. A system designed to protect the powerful and bury everyone else. Each character is fighting their own battle. Ray struggles with guilt and identity. Ani confronts trauma she buried long ago. Paul is trapped between who he is and who the world expects him to be. Frank risks everything to build a future that keeps slipping away. But this isn't a story where things get better. One by one, they fall. Paul is killed in the shadows. Ray dies trying to do the right thing. Frank walks into the desert and never comes back. Only Ani survives. She escapes, carrying the truth with her. But the system? It keeps going. Untouched. Unchanged. Season 3. Memory is a Lie. The story moves to the Ozarks. A quiet place, hiding something terrible. 2 children disappear. One is found dead. The other vanishes. Detective Wayne Hayes leads the investigation. A tracker, a soldier, a man who sees details others miss. But this story isn't told in one timeline. It unfolds across decades. And 2015. And in the present, Wayne is losing his memory. Names fade, faces disappear. Reality itself becomes uncertain. The case follows him his entire life. It costs him relationships. It changes who he is. And for years, the truth stays hidden until finally, the pieces come together. This wasn't a random crime. It was an accident, covered up by wealth and power. A grieving woman trying to replace her lost child. A boy killed in the process. And a girl forced to live a lie for years. But she survives. She escapes. And builds a new life. In the end, Wayne comes close to the truth. Closer than ever before. But his mind betrays him. He forgets why he came. Forgets what he was searching for. And maybe that's the point. Because not every mystery needs to be solved to find peace. Season 4, Night Country. Now, the darkness becomes literal. In the frozen isolation of Alaska, the sun disappears for months. And in that endless night, something happens. 8 scientists vanish without a trace. When they're found, their bodies are frozen together in the ice. Twisted, terrified, unexplainable. Detective Liz Danvers and Trooper Navarro take the case. But this isn't just about the scientists. It connects to an older crime. The murder of an Indigenous woman, Annie Kay. A case that was ignored, forgotten, just like so many others. As they investigate, reality begins to blur. Visions appear. Voices echo. The line between the living and the dead fades. Is something supernatural happening? Or is it something far more human? The truth is both. The scientists were involved in something terrible. Covering up environmental damage. Destroying lives for profit. And when Annie discovered the truth, they killed her. But justice didn't come from the system. It came from the people they overlooked. The women who cleaned their lab. The ones who saw everything. They took revenge, forced the men into the cold, and let the land decide their fate. In the end, the truth is hidden once again. Protected, buried. But this time, it feels different. Because for once, justice actually happened. Across every season of True Detective, the cases change. The faces change, but the core never does. Time is never linear, memory is never reliable, and justice is never guaranteed. These aren't just detective stories. They're stories about people, broken people, searching for meaning in a world that rarely gives it. And somehow, in the middle of all that darkness, there's always a small piece of light. So, which case stayed with you the most? Which season pulled you deepest into the darkness? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like if you love intense, mind-bending crime stories, and subscribe for more deep dives into shows that challenge everything you think you know. Because in this world, the truth is never simple. And the next mystery? It's always closer than you think.